So good morning everyone. In our last class we have also already completed exercise 9a. Now before starting exercise 9b, let us talk about the different divisibility test of different numbers. Okay, so let us start with since already it is discussed the divisibility test of 2. Okay, so do you remember what was the divisibility test of 2? The divisibility test of 2 was the numbers will be divisible by 2 if the last digit of a number is a even number. Okay, so what are the even numbers? Even numbers, that is 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, isn't it? So if the last digit of a number is of any one of these 2, 4, 6 or 8, that number is called will be divisible by 2. Now let us move to the next number, that is divisibility test of 3. Okay, so if we talk about the rule of divisibility of 3, then the answer is if the sum of all the digits, if the sum of all the digits of a number if the sum of all the digits of a number is divisible by 3, then the number also divisible by 3. Okay, so what I said, that if the sum of all the digits of a number is divisible by 3, then the number also is divisible by 3. So for example, now if we look into a number, let it be 81. Okay, let a number to be 81. So by seeing 81, how we can say that whether this 81 is divisible by 3 or not? Okay, how we can say? So as per the rule, we will see, as per the rule, what we will do, we will check 8 plus 1, 9. What was the rule? The rule was if the sum of all the digits, so in 81, what are the digits? The digits are 8 and 1. So 8 plus 1 is 9. Isn't it? 8 plus 1 is 9. So since 9 is divisible by 3, here it is said, if the sum of all the digits of a number is divisible by 3, here if 9 is divisible by 3, then the number that is 81 is also divisible by 3. In this way we can check for other numbers also. In this way we can check for other numbers also. Let it be another number like let a number to be 147. Let a number to be 147. So can we say 147 is divisible by 3 or not? How we will check? Okay, how we will check whether this number is divisible by 3 or not? So what we will do? We will do 1 plus 4 plus 7. So how much the 1 plus 4 plus 7 is? The sum is 7 plus 4 11 plus 1 12. So since 12 is divisible by 3, so we can say the number 147 is also divisible by 3. So this is the divisibility rule of 3. I hope you understood. Now let us move to the next number, that is 4. Now if we talk about the number 4, the rule is if the last 2 digits of a number, if the last 2 digits of a number are of either a multiple of 4 or 00, then that number is called divisible by 4. So what is the rule? If the last two digit of a number, so now for example, if we write a number 948, suppose a number is 948, so how we can say that this number is divisible by 4 or not? So if we know the rule of divisibility of 4, then we can say, see, what is the rule? We will, to check this number whether divisible by 4 or not, we will see only the last two digit of that number. So if the last two digit of that number is either of 00 or a multiple of 4, so as we can see here it is 48, so 48 can be divided, can be divisible by 4, that is 4 12s are 48, isn't it? 4 12s are, that means 48 is also a multiple of 4. So since 48 is divisible by 4, that means 948 is also divisible by 4. In the same way, if you go for 84 or 24 or suppose 716, like this, any number, if you check, see in two digit numbers we will see the both digits, so since 84 directly we can say 84 is divisible by 4, this one is divisible by 4, but in terms of 3 digit, 4 digit or even the higher numbers, we will apply this rule to check and we can determine whether that number is divisible by that particular, that is 4, 3, 2 or not. Okay, so this is the rule for 4. Now let us move to the next number. So okay students, now let us move to the next number, that is 5. Okay, 5. So what is the divisibility rule for 5? The divisibility rule for 5 is very easy. Here we will see only the last digit. Again, if the last digit of a number is either of 5 or 0, then that number is said to be then that number is divisible by divisible by 5. Now example, the example of 5 is very easy. We will see only the last digit. We need to see only the last digit. Let it be any number. If the last digit is 0 or 5, then surely that number is divisible by 5. For example, 75, 135, 740, like this, any number, or it is 1000. So in these numbers, what we are going to check? The last digit. Here it is last digit is 5, here last digit is 5, here last digit is 0, here last digit is 0. That means all these numbers will be divisible by 5. Okay, so after 5, now let's move to the next number, that is 6. So for 6 there is no particular rule. 6 is depending on another two number, and those two numbers are, that means we can say if a number is divisible by both 2 and 3, then that number is divisible by 6. Example, 8, 12, 18, 24, 32. I have written randomly few numbers. Let us check whether these numbers are divisible by 6 or not. Now the first number is 8 we have written. So 8, by looking at this number, since it's an even number, it is divisible by 2. Our first conditions matched. But 8 is not divisible by 3. Since it is not divisible by 2 and 3 both, so 8 is not divisible by 6. 8 cannot be divided by 6. Now to the next number, we have 12. In 12, the last digit is 2, that is an even number, that means it is divisible by 2, as well as 2 plus 1, 3, that is it. 12 is also divisible by 3, that means 12 is divisible by 2 as well as 3, and hence we can say 12 is also divisible by 6, since it fulfilled the divisibility rule of 2 and 3 both. Okay, so 12 can be divisible by 6. Now the next number I have written is 18. So 18, 8 is the last digit, that means it will be divisible by 2, as well as 8 plus 1 is 9, that means it is divisible by 3 also. So since it is divisible by 3 and 2 both, it can be divided by 6. Next, 24. So here also the last digit is 4, it's an even number, so it will be divisible by 2, and since 4 plus 2 is 6, so it is also divisible by 3. So 24 is divisible by 2 and 3 both. What does it mean? That it will be divisible by 6 also. So next number is 32. Again the last digit is 2, that is an even number, that means 32 is divisible by 2, but 3 plus 2 is 5, which is not divisible by 3, so 32 is not divisible by 6. So this is the rule for 6. The next number we are going to write is 9. Those who remember the divisibility rule of 3, for them it will be very easy. The same rule, only that instead of 3 we will say here 9. So what was the divisibility rule of 3? If the sum of a number, if the sum of the digits of a number is divisible by 3, here we will write, if the sum of a number, if the sum of all the digits of a number is divisible by 9, then that number is divisible by 9. Example, 81. Example, 126. Example, 378. Like this. Okay, example can be given anyone. So now here 8 plus 1 9, since the sum of the digits is a multiple of 9, so it will be divisible by 9. Here 2 plus 1 3 plus 6 is 9, so it is also divisible by 9. Here 7 plus 3 10 plus 8 18, since 18 is a multiple of 9, so this number is also divisible by 9. So this is the divisibility rule of 9. So the last number, that is 10. Let's see what is the divisibility rule of 10. So 10 is also same as 5, we can say. So for 10, the divisibility rule is, if the last digit of a number is 0, then that number is divisible by 10. Example, any number containing the last digit as 0. So 300, 9,070, or any number, you can say any number. So in this large numbers we will not see all these things, we will see only the last digit. Since the last digit is 0, since the last digit 0, here it is 0, 0. So all these numbers can be divisible by 10. So these are the divisibility rule for different numbers. We have learned the divisibility rule for 2, 3, 4, 6, and then 9 and 10. Okay, now let us revise once again what was the divisibility rule of all these numbers. Then we will start our next exercise. So the divisibility rule for 2 was, if the last digit of a number is an even number, then that number is divisible by 2. Next, for 3, if the sum of all the digits of a number is divisible by 3, then that number is also divisible by 3. Next, after 3, 4, if the last 2 digits of a number is either double 0 or a multiple of 4, then that number is divisible by 4. After 4, next the number is 5. If the last digit of a number is either 5 or 0, then that number is divisible by 5. Now for 6, if a number is divisible by 2 as well as 3, then that number is said to be divisible by 6. After 6 we have learned 9. The 9 is same as 3. That means if the sum of all the digits of a number is divisible by 9, then that number is also divisible by 9. And the 10 is, if the last digit of a number is having a 0 in the last digit, then that number is divisible by 10. So with this we have completed the test of divisibility. Now let us move to the exercise 9b. So here in exercise 9b, the first question you have, please all of you go to page number 50 and have your copy pen. Okay, so the first question is, which of the following numbers are divisible by 2? Tick them. So by seeing only, okay, here we will not do the actual division. See why we should learn the divisibility test. The meaning of learning all these divisibility tests is to avoid the actual division method. Without actual dividing a number, we can say whether that number is divisible by a particular number. So question number 1, we will check these following numbers whether they are divisible by 2 or not. So please tick it in your book as I said. So as you can say, number A, 36. So 6 is an even number, that is true, means you tick. Number B, 45. 5 is not even number, so it will not be divisible by 2. Number C, 241. So the last digit is 1. Since 1 is not even number, this is not divisible by 2. Next one is 918. So since 8 is the last digit, 8 is an even number, so 8 is divisible by, that means 918 is divisible by 2. You need to give tick. In the same way we will do the rest of the numbers also. Let me talk about more 2 or 3. Let's go for question number G, 6100. So what we have in the last digit? We have a 0 in the last digit. So since in the divisibility rule 0 was also there, so 6100 is also divisible by 2. Now if we move to question number K, 91,273. So we'll check only the last digit. The last digit is 3, and which is not an even number. So 91,273 is not divisible by 2. So we will not tick on them. Next, number I, 42,406. So the last digit is 6. So it is divisible by 2. You will tick. So in this way you will do question number 1, all this one in your copy. The next number is, what is the least number that must be added to the following numbers to get the number divisible by 2. Yeah, here is an interesting fact. So let us see how we can do this. Question number 2. So now we are in exercise 9b. We are going to solve question number 2a. A number is given as 347 and the question is, what is the least number? Least number means the smallest number that can be added to the following numbers to get the number divisible by 2. So as we are going to check the divisibility test of 2, we will see only the last digit. So what we have in the last digit? 7. Since 7 is not an even number, how to make it an even number? That means what is the least number that we can add to this 7 and it will be a even number. So now if we add 1 to this, the number will be 348, isn't it? And when it will be 348, we will get the last digit as even number. That means when it will be even, it will be divisible by 2. So what is the least number that can be added to these numbers to make it a divisible by 2? The answer will be 1. 1 must be added to 347 to make it divisible by 2. Okay, in this way we will do question number B, C, D. Now let me tell one thing. To make any number which is an odd number, to make it divisible by, to make it an even number, we must add 1 to that number. The smallest number that can be added to make a odd number as even number, that is 1. In the same way, if the question is what is the least number that can be subtracted from this number to make it divisible by 2, same way, if from 7 if we subtract 1, it will become 6. That means to make a number divisible by 2, the least number that can be added is also 1 and the least number that can be subtracted, that is also 1. Okay, so hope you understood question number 1 as well as question number 2 as well as question number 3. So question number 1, 2, 3 will be your homework as we have discussed here. Now from our next class we will start solving question number 4, 5 and all these things. Okay, so for today up to this much. Thank you.